There are still no barriers near White House, but they will appear soon. Then, after 4 a.m., while the master of the house will still be asleep, a few hundreds of journalists will arrive to watch one of the most recent non-religious sacraments of this city. Barack Obama will host his colleague, Vatican Head of State, Pope Francis. The American president is carefully avoiding questions about his religious views, but he reportedly attended Catholic school in Indonesia. The Pope, meanwhile, isn't hiding his Argentinian roots nor his Froliscan manner. The U.S. is historically a country founded by Protestants. Catholics were not in favor, but Pope Francis is expecting a warm reception. Americans describe him like one of us. He was born next door in South America, and even with all the influence of strict Catholic customs, he remains a cheerful and loving pastor. Francis will become the first pope to be hosted by Barack Obama in the White House. In the last 30 years, 2 popes visited the U.S., John Paul II and Benedict XVI. The last one was welcomed by former President George W. Bush. The National Mall and the White House ellipse will provide a view of the Pope's parade route, east and west of the ellipse on Constitution Avenue, east of the Washington Monument near Jefferson Drive and 15th Street, and west of Washington Monument near 17th Street Northwest. Across the entire area will be a crowd of the Pope's fans. They bought their tickets in early July in advance.
I have my ticket, so I graduated class of 2014 from Catholic University. So I was very lucky. I was one of the lucky alumni who got a ticket. So yeah.
When you got it?
I got it. I found out that I was selected maybe about a month ago, and I got my ticket in the mail last week.
Was it a lottery or something?
Sorry?
It was a lottery or something?
Yes, it was a lottery system. So I definitely got very lucky.
The people of DC are looking forward to meeting Pope Francis with open hearts and open wallets. They are buying t-shirts reading "I love Pope" with the traditional heart on them replaced by tiara. Also selling well are portraits of the Pope and fridge magnets and comics about his life. Also popular this year, life-size cardboard cutouts.
We get many come by from the street and see him and want to come in and have their picture, or some just are in here already and see him there and they go, "Do you mind if I have my picture taken with him?" Like, sure, go right ahead.
Breweries in DC are also prepared for the visit of Pope Francis. They are manufacturing a special line of crafts and beers with the names like On the Winds of Armageddon, No Pope Till Brookland, Blushing Moon and Salvation and Rapture. Food dedicated to the Pope is also appearing. South American dishes like empanadas and bancauda. Pope Francis is fighter for animal rights, but he isn't vegetarian and prefers simple meals.
When we heard that the Pope was coming, everybody went a little bit Pope crazy, so to speak. So we thought it would be funny. There are very many religious named beers in America. So some names are like Sweet Baby Jesus, Double Barrel Jesus, Resurrection, On the Wings of Armageddon. And we found that there were just so many religious themed beers that if the Pope was coming to within 1,000 feet of us, we would just put on as many religious beers as we could. But apparently the Pope does like to drink beer, so we're hoping maybe he'll stop by and have one.
This is the Basilica of the National Shrine, just a few blocks from the beer and empanadas. Thousands of true believers will wait for Pope Francis here, near the biggest Catholic church in DC. The Pope will hold Mass in Spanish, his native language, and perform a beatification of Friar Junipero Serra, the monk who established Catholic missions in California in 18th century. Pope Francis is one of the most beloved religious leaders in the U.S. for his compassion, humility, and commitment to social change. He has also been praised for his understanding of groups who have been previously disfranchised from the church, gays who he doesn't judge, and the homeless whose feet he washed. He uses for focus instead of the usual Mercedes, and when it comes to Russian President Vladimir Putin, he was able to comment on Russian leaders' unpunctuality in most intelligent and sophisticated way. This is Natalka Pisna for Ukraine Today from Washington, D.C.